Can men and women really just be friends? Hi everyone, and welcome to Love Advice with Linda Love Coaching. In this video, I wanted to look at an article from scientificamerican.com that looks at some research on whether men and women, heterosexual men and women, can truly just be friends. I wanted to closely look at this article to try and get some perspective and background for you on why I usually encourage girls to put male friendships on the back burner when they're out there dating and looking for their Mr. Right. Now, this can be quite a contentious issue that leads to a lot of heated debate. So if you want to have your say, please write in the comments because I really want to hear what your experience and opinions are on this. And while you're here, why not click on the subscribe button, and later on you can check out some other videos on my channel all about dating and relationships. Right, well, let's get stuck into it. This was written by Adrian F. Ward back in 2012, and here's what it says. Can heterosexual men and women ever be just friends? Daily experience suggests that non-romantic friendships between males and females are not only possible, but common. Men and women live, work and play side by side, and generally seem to be able to avoid spontaneously sleeping together. However, the possibility remains that this apparently platonic coexistence is merely a facade, an elaborate dance covering up countless sexual impulses bubbling just beneath the surface. New research suggests that there may be some truth to this possibility, that we may think we're capable of being just friends with members of the opposite sex, but the opportunity, or perceived opportunity, for romance is often lurking just around the corner, waiting to pounce at the most inopportune moment. The results suggest large gender differences in how men and women experience opposite sex friendships. Men were much more attracted to their female friends than vice versa. Men were also more likely than women to think that their opposite sex friends were attracted to them, a clearly misguided belief. In fact, men's estimates of how attractive they were to their female friends had virtually nothing to do with how these women actually felt, and almost everything to do with how the men themselves felt. Basically, males assumed that any romantic attraction they experienced was mutual and were blind to the actual level of romantic interest felt by their female friends. Women, too, were blind to the mindset of their opposite sex friends because females generally were not attracted to their male friends. They assumed that this lack of attraction was mutual. As a result, men consistently overestimated the level of attraction felt by their female friends, and women consistently underestimated the level of attraction felt by their male friends. Men were also more willing to act on this mistakenly perceived mutual attraction. Both men and women were equally attracted to romantically involved opposite sex friends. However, men and women differed in the extent to which they saw attached friends as potential romantic partners. Although men were equally as likely to desire romantic dates with taken friends as with single ones, women were sensitive to their male friends' relationship status and uninterested in pursuing those who were already involved with someone else. These results suggest that men, relative to women, have a particularly hard time being just friends. What makes these results particularly interesting is that they were found within particular friendships. It is direct proof that two people can experience the exact same relationship in radically different ways. Men seem to see myriad opportunities for romance in their supposedly platonic opposite sex friendships. The women in these relationships, however, seem to have completely different orientation, one that is actually platonic. To the outside observer, it seems clear that these vastly different views about the potential for romance in opposite sex friendships could cause serious complications, and people within opposite sex relationships agree. In a follow-up study, 249 adults, many of whom were married, were asked to list the positive and negative aspects of being friends with a specific member of the opposite sex. Variables related to romantic attraction, for example, our relationship could lead to romantic feelings, were 5 times more likely to be listed as negative aspects of the friendship than as positive ones. However, the differences between men and women appeared here as well. Males were significantly more likely than females to list romantic attraction as a benefit of opposite sex friendships. And this discrepancy increased as men aged. Males on the younger end of the spectrum were 4 times more likely than females to report romantic attraction as a benefit of opposite sex friendships, whereas those on the older end of the spectrum were 10 times more likely to do the same. Taken together, these studies suggest that men and women have vastly different views of what it means to be just friends, and that these differing views have the potential to lead to trouble. Although women seem to be genuine in their belief that opposite sex friendships are platonic, men seem unable to turn off their desire for something more. And even though both genders agree overall that attraction between platonic friends is more negative than positive, males are less likely than females to hold this view. So, can men and women be just friends? If we all thought like women, almost certainly. But if we all thought like men, we'd probably be facing a serious overpopulation crisis. That study backs up what I instinctively knew about male and female friendships. I've had similar experiences myself where I have believed quite firmly that I was in a platonic friendship with a man. And then, upon breaking up with a boyfriend that I had been seeing at the time, discovered that this friend had all along had feelings for me. But when I was in that friendship, it hadn't even occurred to me for a second that there might be more from his side. And of course, there's always exceptions to this. There may be occasions where it truly is a platonic friendship. I've also had one of those, but I could say only once. And time and again, I've had discussions with girls about how they've been in that situation where they've found out down the track that a guy that they were friends with felt more for them and was hopeful of it turning to romance. The purpose of this video is to give a bit of perspective and background, backed up by research, on why I suggest to girls that they put male friendships on the back burner when they're truly seeking Mr. Right. If you're in a friendship with a man that you have feelings for and he hasn't asked you out on a date at this point, move away from that friendship. And if you're not already, get back onto online dating and start dating men who are single, who are looking for the one as well. And the bottom line for me is that I'm all about living an authentic life. Why are we surrounding ourselves with males and male friendships? Do you need it? I truly believe that we need female friendships. And if there are people that you are associated with, work colleagues, if you have hobbies and interests that involve men around you, keep them as acquaintances. From my point of view, and for the reasons discussed in that article, I just don't think it's a healthy thing to have a lot of male friendships in your life. And that includes when you're married. Let's just keep it really simple. Let's not make the waters murky here. Let's live an authentic life. Let's just concentrate on the man that's in your life. If you're in a relationship or married, I highly recommend removing any close male friendships that you might have hanging around. I just feel like you're heading for trouble if you continue those. In conclusion, I'm encouraging you to let it go. Let go of male friendships. I don't think that they're necessary. Nurture your female friendships, and if there are some men, work acquaintances, in interest groups that are kind of in your social circle, keep them purely as acquaintances. Put up that little wall and don't get into a deep, close friendship with any men. Now, I'm not saying that you're all in friendships for ego purposes, that you're getting a kick out of the thought that the guy is into you or falling in love with you, because like that research said, that most girls assume that because they're feeling platonic about the relationship, that it's mutual, that he feels platonic as well. So it's not that I'm thinking the worst of you or of him. And the other side of this too is that it doesn't mean that men are the bad guys here either. You know, men and women are what we are. When you understand the psychology of what's going on, when you understand the gender differences, you can make more informed choices about your life. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about for me, is making informed choices that are empowering so that you're not naively walking through life wondering why you're getting the outcomes that you are. So I hope this helped. Whether you agree or not, please comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So I will see you next time for more love advice with Linda Love Coaching. Bye for now.